Hello everybody and welcome to a new year. Today I wanted to briefly, ever so briefly, talk about Red Art Games. I don't know if you've heard about them or not, but last Black Friday I was doing shopping primarily at VGP, but other places too, and I noticed that a lot of Red Art Games published games were on sale. So I decided to get a few of them. And as I play my games throughout 2026, I like to try out different publishers. And this has definitely been a publisher that has been on my radar. Now, the way I think of Red Art Games, it's kind of like a mid-tier publisher. It's not quite at the level of Limited Run or perhaps a Fangamer, but somewhat below it. But the question that I have for myself, and I guess for you guys, is, are they any good? So I wanted to go through some of the games that I got, including a game that I played last year, and just sort of discuss the publisher with you. So let's get started. So first up is Colt Canyon. From the looks of it, a top-down shooter. From what I've heard, it's a roguelike, where you're basically just running down, gunning people. Once again, I've not played it, but I do remember, I'm pretty sure, that this was on Game Pass way back in the day. So unfortunately for me, roguelikes are just not my thing. You know, I like them from time to time, but not my favorite genre. So hopefully I will find the time to play this. The good part is that this game is only about 5 to 7 hours long. So that is definitely a positive. We'll take a look and see what shakes up during the year, but hopefully I'll get to play this game sometime in the near future. Next up is Metalloid Origin. We have seen these types of games before, kind of remind you of Mega Man 2D sort of action combat games with different characters, different superheroes. Looks cool. Looks interesting. Looks like a fast-paced game. I like those types of games. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check and see what the schedule looks like in order to play this. From what I understand, it's about a 3-hour long campaign, which is just about perfect. So yeah, for fans of old school games like those 16-bit era games, I think this would probably be a perfect game for them. For me, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I'll definitely be interested to give it a shot sometime down the road, especially since it's only 3 hours long. And folks, this is why it's always good to look at some gameplay footage as well. Now, initially I thought this game was just a platformer, but I think I'm wrong here because this seems to have a lot of action elements tied to it. So a lot of action elements, a lot of platforming elements. But one thing I'm noticing just from the trailer alone is this game is quite beautiful. It has some pretty artistic, strong artistic, characteristics that I'm liking quite a bit. The gameplay seems a little bit slower than usual. I don't know if that's going to last in the real game or not, but definitely has me intrigued. I am liking what I'm seeing. It's kind of beautiful, really cool, very artistic. They Always Run. Have you guys played it? Let me know, because now I am genuinely curious. Basically, from what I've researched, the game is about 7 hours long, so that is absolutely not too long to play. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to get to this game. Now, playing all new games is well and good, but you gotta beat the games that you're currently playing. And I've been playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Really loving it. I talked about this game briefly when I did a Switch 2 video, but still going through all the levels, really enjoying it. Maybe not as good as Metroid Prime Remastered, but come on, how many games really are gonna hit that level of peakness? I think this game is still very good, very enjoyable, and I'm having a great time with it. Looking forward to completing this game. I'm just curious, what are your guys' thoughts on Triangle Strategy? A game that I recently started playing for the second time. And as I do with a lot of my tactical turn-based games, I take different paths. So deliberately, I went, and very early in the game, you would get to go to one of two kingdoms. Last time I went to, let's just call it the Salt Kingdom. This time I decided to go the Iron Kingdom. And I just want to see what the different outcomes are. And so far, so good. I'm really enjoying it. I have a feeling that the main story is not going to change a whole lot, but still, It's fun to go through different routes and see what awaits. By the way, this is one of my favorite newer tactical turn-based games that has released. Definitely give it a shot if you like that genre. One of the best out there. Next up, let's talk about Bard's Gold. This game seems like it's very similar to Metalloid Origin, another one of those 2D action platformers. A little bit slower paced based on what I'm seeing, but still overall not a bad looking game. The thing is, though, I'm going to be playing only one of these styles of games, not all of them, not both of them. It's just not my genre. I enjoy them from time to time, but they're not my cup of tea, per se. However, with a 7-hour playtime, I don't think that is awfully long of a time commitment. Hopefully the game will not be too challenging. It's hard to tell from the trailer, but hopefully, we can get, or I can get some enjoyment out of it. We'll see. I'll be honest, guys, of all the games that I've seen, this by far looks the most interesting. Captain, Velvet, Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimensions. This game, I don't know if you guys played A Space for the Unbound, but it kind of gives me similar vibes, where there's a lot of sort of a character within a character, his imaginary friends, whatever is going on in real life, he sort of converts it into his own world. That's kind of not exactly what A Space for the Unbound was, but something similar. And I'm really getting some positive vibes with this game. Feels like a combination of visual novel storytelling, some adventure elements, plus some tactical turn-based combat. And look at that art style. It looks really amazing. This is what I want to see in indie games. Something unique, something interesting, something that hasn't been done before. This looks kind of cool, to be honest. The only thing that I was kind of skeptical of is that this game does not have a recorded time to beat thing in How Long to Beat. So either nobody played it, or this game is sort of an open-ended thing where it never really ends. Those are two things that are giving me some red flags. But man, I really got to check this game out. I'm definitely looking forward to trying this one out. And I'm fairly certain in 2026, this will get at least some playtime. I mean, looks pretty solid. How about we talk about Witcher 3 Wild Hunt for a second? Any chance that this is going to get an HD or Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade? I sure as heck hope so, because as the case was with Cyberpunk 2077, and as has been the case with CD Projekt Red in general, they tend to do really good things for their customers. And I really do hope that eventually they release a patch, hopefully a free one, that gives this game a much needed boost. Definitely one of my favorite RPGs ever, action RPGs of all time. I want to play it on the Switch as well, but I'm waiting and hoping that they release a Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade. What do you guys think? Will it happen? Now, it's not like I've never played any Red Art games. As a matter of fact, I beat Goblin Slayer Nightmare Feast just last year. Now, this is, of course, a genre right up my alley, a tactical turn-based game, and I absolutely love that genre. But, one of the things I noticed about this game, just like with many other Red Art games that we just talked about, very indie-ish in nature. As in, the tactical combat and the overall setting of the game will really remind you of some old school tactical games, which in my case was a wonderful thing. Perhaps that doesn't work for you. Plus, there is a visual novel element to the game as well. I don't know if you guys like visual novels or not, but it doesn't bother me, especially when I consider, at least for me, the story to be somewhat entertaining. Now, the game itself did not do that well commercially as far as reviews are concerned, but I really do not care about those. I personally had a great time with Goblin Slayer. I don't know if it's based off of some anime franchise. Probably is. At least it sounded like it, felt like it. So, yeah, overall, a great tactical turn-based game that I really enjoyed playing and beating in 2025. Of course, there was going to be one game that didn't have gameplay. That happens to be at least one game, Castle of Shikigami 2. But we all know what type of game this is. It's a shooter, supposedly takes an hour and a half to complete, and I'm pretty sure that I've played this elsewhere, either on the PlayStation 2 or Wii, don't quite remember. Perhaps even one of the newer consoles, who knows. But yeah, this is definitely a candidate for a replay because, you have to have a few shmups that you play throughout the year, right? So why not be Castle of Shikigami 2? Definitely looking forward to it if I do indeed decide to play it. And finally, let's look at Demetrios, the Big Cynical Adventure. The name kind of gives it away. It's an adventure. I know that Xenon Valkyrie at the bottom is kind of a shooter. From what I've heard, it's a pretty difficult shooter. So I'm more interested in checking out Demetrios. Seems like a sort of a lighthearted, humorous adventure game. And yeah, looks like it is exactly just that. Hopefully I can get around to playing that. Because after all, you need a good balance of games to play to keep yourself entertained. I don't like to play the same type of game from, January all the way to December. I like to switch things up. And hopefully this will be a good change of pace game. And I'm getting some good vibes from this. Definitely the graphics look cool. I want to know more about it. I definitely want to check it out. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do so. So anyways, that was a brief look into some of the games that I got for Black Friday that were Red Art published games. I really am curious to hear your thoughts on this particular publisher. Do you have any of their games that you really enjoy, or do you consider them to be a mediocre publisher that just kind of puts average games out there? Do let me know in the comment section down below, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.